Start. Okay. Now, yeah, we're live.
Perfect.
Welcome everyone to the first Imperial podcast in this year. Today, our guest is TurboTechHD, current captain, HRE, former commander of the Imperial Guards, and current commander of Luxembourg. So, how's your day, Turbo?
Honestly, day's pretty good. I woke up not too long ago. Still fucked up sleep schedule, but hey, I mean, we won CW today, so it's going pretty
That's
well.
that's
Yeah.
Lux did very well today.
Yes.
So,
Lux is strongest it's ever been.
yeah, true. Lux doesn't have a lot of W wins.
Yeah, no, not a lot, yeah. I mean, before I came here, Lux kind of had a rough year. Maybe a rough 2 years, actually. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I mean, Lux is looking good. Hopefully we can get a win streak down, but we'll see.
Um, well, we are in the Turbo Tavern, guys, in a public server. Guys want to
Yeah.
the podcast live, like in the game, you can come here. Uh, so before we start uh, with the questions I prepared, if you tell us how did it even happen that the Turbo Tavern, which is named by your name, even was created?
Existed, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's actually a funny story. I don't know if you remember Lala as staff when he was
yeah, I do.
architect and then he became staff. Yeah, so it was last year, October, somewhere around October, right? A few days before my birthday on October 30th. And I told him, wouldn't it be super cool if this tavern on the new map just put a sign up there saying Turbo's Tavern, you know? And then I said that jokingly in a VC, by the way, and he took it serious. He was like, you know what? I'm doing it. And then he put a sign up there saying Turbo's Tavern, and it just kind of existed from there. So it's kind of a birthday gift from Lala, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
And then eventually yeah,
that
Sinking
was
upgraded it at the VC.
such a nice gift. Birthday.
Yes.
sadly the turbo tavern was removed.
Yeah, well, it's back now. So
Yeah, it's back.
but yeah,
They even added
back
your
in.
NPC in game.
Yes, they did. He still doesn't give water though. He scams people. Quite realistic, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So yeah, let's
But
start with the questions I prepared today. Some of them were made by me, and some of them were asked by the community
Mhm.
forums. So
Hmm.
yeah, let's start with the first question, which is, how did you found the Empire roleplay game, and did it make a good impression on
Honestly, it's okay. So actually, at the time, I was with my friend Wolf Guardian, one of my best friends, known him for 10 years, by the way. And we were just kind of scrolling through Roblox games, looking for something to play. At the time, I think I was around maybe 16, either 15 or 16. And essentially, when we found it, we had this big idea that we were going to join the smallest and weakest duchy. And we were going to basically carry it and build it from the bottom up, rise through the ranks, get well known. And essentially, what happened was, unexpectedly, we were supposed to join Saxony, but Wolf Guardian wanted to join IG. Like, he really wanted to join IG. So I kind of got, we got kind of got to meet Wrecking, and Wrecking kind of just let us in without a tryout. So that was fun.
Oh, I remember.
And yeah, that's where my story began. Yeah, and honestly, the impression it left on me, it was a very fun game at the time. I mean, it still is a fun game. I'm still playing it, of course, but at the time, the battles were exciting. The community was thriving. People were fun to talk with. Yeah.
Um, I had a really similar story, but so the first
Yeah.
thing you ever joined IG,
Hmm. That was the first ever thing I joined, and without a tryout as well.
crazy, two-player
It is.
getting recruited to IG without a try. And yeah,
Yes.
the IG makes a really good impression on players.
Hmm.
The new players,
Yeah. Funny story, actually. My friend who joined IG with me, Wolf Guardian, he basically broke OS on the in the first 5 seconds.
oh,
He accidentally pressed the slash key, said A, like, and then basically he vowed to never do it again and removed the slash key from his keyboard, like physically removed it to not like make the same mistake again. But yeah,
really funny story. Um,
yeah.
yeah, as you guys can see, it was history. It was a journey outed in IG. So yeah, another question. Which duchy was
Mhm.
the first one you joined? You already know IG first, but duchy.
The Dutchy wise,
And currently,
I.
okay,
Mhm. I honestly, I don't remember which duchy I exactly joined, but I think the first duchy I ever grinded out properly was Lux. I think the first duchy I ever went serious about is this duchy that I'm currently in, and I actually joined it 2 months ago. But
yeah,
yeah.
I also tax as the
Mhm.
I'm finding it ranks.
Mhm.
So the second part of this question was which duchy is your favorite? And by the way, the question was asked by a guy named Sandstorm. So yeah, Sandstorm, thank you
Okay.
for the question.
Which duchy is my favorite? I'm gonna be a little biased here. I'm gonna say Lux because they're the underdogs, right? They're the underdogs. They went through hell with me, and they've made it to like insane heights in the past month. Honestly, the strongest duchy by far since, well, since what, 2 years ago? I think this beats Lux Prime. I think this is the new golden age of Luxembourg, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah, like the Luxembourg was always kinda the worst duchy, I would say. Like people were saying that Lux is never going to win the CW. They're the most active duchy, and only
Yeah.
old players are playing there. But now, uh, after you joined the Lux, uh, really going to the new golden age. Maybe
Yeah.
tell us, how did you manage to make the Duchy of Luxembourg, which was really dying, a good duchy again? How did it happen? Tell us the story.
Honestly, I think it takes. I think there were many factors that were part of Lux's success. Part of it was I started off from the bottom, just starting to do PRs and seeing where the duchy stands really. When I first got commander, Lux was kind of in a like half and half state because when I joined the duchy at first, some of my friends came, namely like Maturinio, Krisuk, Wolf Guardian. They all joined, but they weren't exactly grinding it that much with me because I didn't really have much authority at the time. It was mainly Ben Cool as commander. And as soon as I got authority, I started doing some changes to the HRs, the high com. I started recruiting. I started kind of focusing on getting some of my old contacts to join back the genre and come back to help me. You know, as kind of a favor, you know, for old times' sake. They really weren't in duchies. They were kind of just dead for a while, so I just kind of brought them back to the community. And of course, we just kind of went from there and slowly picked up the pace, right? So it takes a lot of, I guess, a lot of contacts, charisma, and just general management skill to pull through.
Well, and after all that time, after all you have, well, you have spent so much time and spent so much dedication for Lux that it
Yeah.
finally paid off, and Luxembourg
Yeah.
doing really great currently, and it's
Oh yeah, absolutely.
all because of you. Maybe not all, because everyone.
I had a lot of help. I
Yeah,
had a lot of help. I'll just
exactly,
say that.
exactly,
No man can carry alone. You
exactly.
know,
Um,
I'm not here to take all the credit, but yeah, go on.
but yeah, that's a great story. Shows that
Yes.
everything can go from the ashes and become great again. So yeah, let's move
Yes.
to another question. Uh,
hmm
in which duchy did you got a high rank for the first time, and what was your reaction when you got it?
It was actually IG.
Oh, I see.
I yeah, I think it was Bander's reign at the time. When I first got HR, I was slightly I didn't really I don't remember my exact reaction, but it was probably like, you know, oh yeah, cool. I mean, I'm HR now, I can grind through the ranks. Um but I actually kind of burnt out a lot during my initial HR era in IG, and I got very lucky I didn't get demoted. Actually, but yeah.
Well, as we all know, it takes a lot of time to get promoted in IG,
Yeah.
because the
hmm
ICOM is changing slow. Like,
hmm
people that are currently captains are captains like maybe 8 months already, something like that.
Yeah.
And if we exclude the IG, then which was the first Dachi high ranking?
hmm
Like, in which
Wait.
Dachi height?
Oh, knights? Like duchy wise? I mean, duchy wise, probably. Let me think here. I think yeah, I think it was Lux as well.
Oh,
I think it was all Lux, yeah. Because I've been to a few duchies before, but it was either because I was Doppel in lands or something else, but I never made it to HR in any other duchy, like properly, you know?
well, uh, then no longer. Uh,
Only 2 months, but yeah.
then what, like, what made you join the Lux again? Like, what keeps you?
Honestly, I mean, what keeps me is obviously the community and what I've achieved so far. I'm still very ambitious myself. I want to win CW constantly and start a new era and like kind of keep going, you know, keep the flow going. Um, but the one thing that kind of brought me to Lux in the first place is actually Seihan. Because at the time, I remember I used to bully him for being trash and having a duchy that loses all the time. You know, just kind of jokingly, you know, nothing too serious. But I kind of made him a promise as well that after I leave Landscanecht, I would come to Lux next and I would help him and carry it. So it's kind of more of a promise that brought me there, and I think I fulfilled it, you know.
Oh, well,
But
yeah,
still, I want more.
you fulfilled it indeed.
Yeah.
This guy just said, "What if I make Turbo look bad on the stream?"
Who
Okay,
said that?
I wait. The Ubi East.
Oh no. Oh well.
Okay, let's move on to the fourth question. We all know, or at least most of us know, that you were commander of IG. Please tell us, what is the hardest task that commander of IG has to do?
Oh man. Continual task or task of experience? Because I mean, continuously for me, the only really painful and tedious thing I did was just like resetting the sheet every week. That was pretty tedious. But if I'm being honest, the hardest thing I ever did in IG was revive it from the depth as well, because IG was also in a shit state when I picked it up. Uh, like I remember, I was secondary commander. Joe was the commander. Nothing against Joe or anything. I love the guy to death, right? But he would take forever to accept people, and he was the only person that can accept people at the time. So for months on end, there was a guy who did not get accepted for like 2 months after passing a tryout, and essentially we were at like 50 members, and it was bad, right? And essentially the guy that took like 2 months to get accepted, I only accepted him after I became commander. After I became commander, I DM'd was like, "Hey, you still want to get accepted?" And he's
Lol.
like, "Yeah." And then I just accepted him.
Oh man.
But yeah,
Yeah, I remember when I was attending when I passed the IG tryout for the first time, I waited
Mhm.
like a week for getting accepted. But yeah, it was when
Yeah.
you were a commander already. But yeah, we all
I
know that
mean,
IG was doing great when you.
yeah, I mean, at the time, I mean, it kind of just fluctuates. IG specifically kind of fluctuated when I was in charge. It wasn't exceptional, but it was pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah. Uh,
You know,
well,
so.
uh, have you spectated what the other commanders of IG were doing after you retired, like the third real legend, Duck?
Yeah. So I actually, after I retired, I just kind of, I didn't really pay attention. I paid attention for the first like few weeks, but after that, I just kind of moved on, right?
Yeah.
I just kind of focused on real life and other things, and I didn't really pay attention. But I do hear from people though, and from what people have been telling me is like, Sir kind of I think went inactive
Yeah,
and
that's true.
didn't really
Because
do
I was
much.
there.
Yeah, and then after Sir was what, Zach?
Yeah, Zach.
Yeah, and from what I heard, he was kind of he had ideas, right? He always had ideas, so but honestly, I honestly don't know where it fell off. I really don't. I couldn't say for sure,
I would
you know.
say it was after Mingo.
Perhaps, but yeah.
You know, he added a rule that couldn't allow you to become a lieutenant in IG. Didn't pass the MIE,
Yeah.
which was a really
I
bad choice
mean,
in my.
yeah, but that's like another topic, so it's a whole different topic in of itself.
So yeah, let's move to another question. Fifth
Yeah.
question already prepared.
Hmm.
Well, what is your end goal for HRE? Like, what would you achieve before retiring from HRE entirely?
Honestly, just oh, okay. And the game got an update. Nice.
Nice, great. I love HRE
So yeah,
developers. Great
let's
timing.
go on. Thinking why? No, but okay. Anyway, so what was the question?
The question was, uh, what's your end goal for HRE?
My end goal, right. So end goal wise, It depends, right? It depends how much time I have and what my capabilities are. Because right now I'm only in Lux, so right now what I can see is I guess just making Lux unkillable for a little while. That's my end goal. Just beating Xeno's streak, beating the other Duchy streak, getting maybe 8 weeks in a row, 6 weeks in a row, 7 weeks in a row, whatever, wherever the wind takes us, right?
Yeah, like for
And
example,
then
Bohemia,
retirement-wise,
Bavaria.
yeah, I mean, retirement-wise, I'll cross the like bridge when we get there, you know? I'll deal with it when we cross that bridge, kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see.
The hell is happening in game? Uh,
I don't know. Anyway, are you in my game as well? I think
yeah,
you are,
we
right?
are in the same server. Okay, let's just go back to the Turbo Tavern, and then we
Yeah, I'm
will
making
be
my way
able to
back right now.
continue podcast.
Yeah, I'm walking there.
The graphics in game are so good now. Sunlight.
Yeah, crazy, dude. They optimized it like crazy. It feels so much smoother, right?
Yeah, I know, right? I saw that when I joined the game.
Even
Nowadays.
though winter like kind of didn't finish quite yet, but
It doesn't
fine.
matter. We have spring.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a spring in January. Okay, it's Asian. Oh no, bro! I almost entered the outsider village because I thought it like the place where there was tavern is.
Yeah, the sun is in your eyes. I can see the stream.
Okay, here it is. I'm on there.
I'm behind you. I see you.
Okay, tavern.
Are there 3 people on your horse?
Yeah,
Wait, there are 2 horses. What?
yeah.
I'm looking at your stream. There's like 2 horses on top of each other.
It's just a
I'm so
Chernobyl
confused.
mutation.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. Horse is doing something sus. Anyway, I'm here. Alright, moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. Go to the chair. There.
Oh, the middle one, yeah.
It looks better on the stream. Yeah. Now time for the sixth question. What was your best Daci experience?
Again, I'm gonna have to say Lux. I'm gonna have to be biased with this one. No, but Lux right now, honestly, yeah, it's the best experience I've had because I kind of feel like responsible for the duchy, and the glory of the duchy kind of comes along with you, right? So if you help the duchy out, you also kind of achieve your ambitions as well and get all the glory,
Yeah,
you
and you
know?
get remembered. Like,
Exactly. I'm a firm believer that in HRE you have to do something to be remembered for, you
yeah,
know? Something to put you in the Hall of Fame, basically.
yeah. That's the
So
reason why people in IG are still
play the
about
game,
you.
yeah. For that, yeah, that's true. That's actually very true, yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah. Another question: is it hard to become a Daci high community
well, I wouldn't say it's hard. I'd say it just takes a little bit of responsibility
and time?
and time, yeah, of course, to even get Dachi Highcom. It's a grind in of itself. I wouldn't say it's hard at all. I'd say it's actually very, very easy to run something. To run Lux, for example. It was not difficult. It just took effort, you know. As all things in life, you know,
Yeah, true.
nothing is hard. It just takes tremendous effort and time, but anything's possible, you know.
To be honest, I think like the responsibility of high rank and high com could teach someone something in real life.
Yeah, I mean it could, yeah. I mean, H3 has been a part of my life for like what, 2, 3 years. I'd say definitely had an impact in a lot of the things I do. You know, a lot of
Yeah,
the ideas I follow and I guess my philosophy on things. But yeah,
yeah. Like for example, because of HRE, I'm a good leader in real life.
put that on a resume during your job interview. Yeah,
Yeah, I was captain in a Lego game.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. Another question. Is HRE unique if compared to other games in medieval genre?
Uh,
Opinion?
actually, in the medieval genre, from what I've seen, I mean, for example, like AGC's Rome, for instance, I mean, they use DR tech, but this is modified DR tech in HRE. It's very modified, and it's kind of once you play the game long enough, it kind of becomes nice, you know? You kind of like it, especially when you
Yeah.
have good ping. Even though
Good
the ping
thing.
is very ping, you know, even though the game is very ping based and the combat is kind of very turtle based, I still feel like it's kind of satisfying sometimes. So it does kind of have that uniqueness factor, as well as like the community, the PRs, the fighting, the competitive aspect, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah,
It's impossible
but
to replace the community.
oh yeah,
The
yeah.
community is unique itself. That's for sure. Yeah. So, um, another question: are you bored of Empire Online? Like you were here for so long, you achieved so much,
Yeah.
and are you bored of it?
I've had many times where I was completely bored of the game. It got really boring at a time. Like it got very, very boring. Like I think during IG, for example, where when Viking was around, there weren't many updates going around. There wasn't much happening. It was the same thing over and over and over again. Just do PRs, reset sheet, keep going, you know?
Yeah.
And then of course there's the grind to chase ranks, which is kind of another thing in of itself, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but the only reason I would chase ranks, and the only reason I think it's acceptable to chase ranks, is if you want to do something that's worthy. Well, if you want to do something that can put you in the Hall of Fame, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, is it boring now? I wouldn't say. I'm having fun on it actually right now with
Yeah.
Lux
Same.
and all that. So I wouldn't say I'm having, yeah, I
Like
wouldn't say I'm getting bored.
everything is getting bored after time, but it's
Yeah.
important to take breaks.
Yeah,
Uh,
of course. Yeah, 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 absolutely.
because if you take a break, then you're more motivated to the stuff that you got
Oh yeah,
bored
yeah,
of.
yeah. True, true.
Okay, let me drink a little bit of water, because it's
Yeah.
important to stay hydrated when talking much.
Yes. Chrisuk actually said combat is so boring, only big team fights are good, which is true.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, that's another true fact because the thing is with this new combat, which is well, infinite sprint is it's basically turtle tech, right? It's
Yeah,
boring because people run forever,
yeah, indeed.
but it's also fun when you get kills and team fights and all that because well, you know.
But there are also people that think that the unlimited sprint is the best thing in the
Ah,
HRE
yes,
combat.
Carl, yes. Nah, I mean, look, Carl's philosophy is this: it's possible to wolfpack them, so it should be okay, right? Which he's right. Yeah, you can wolfpack someone if you have like 20, 10 people chasing him.
Yeah, because they
But
increase
someone like
the
big,
stamina
yeah.
of the shield.
But if it's a close fight, and it's like 2v1 or 5v1 even or 6v1 even, then they will run for eternity, and it's not that easy to wolfpack. He can call it a skill issue, but I really don't think it is because like what if you have the best fighters, which actually is a true story. Bacon Bunner ran for so long and we had every single good fighter on him. So no, I don't think it is a skill issue. I think it's more just the combat itself. And I think he's also experienced it in our PR. We did the same thing to Bavaria when he was in Bavaria. Maturinho run. Let me tell you a story, right?
Yeah,
It was a
tell
PR,
us.
Lux versus Bav. Yeah, it was a PR, Lux versus Bav. Maturinho and two others were alive versus 13 Bavarians. Maturinho ran for so long that the Bavarians got bored, hit his shield, and they died on him. And eventually it became a 1v3 and they called it off and we just took the round.
Yeah, but the
I mean,
running is
you can talk, you can say, "Oh, but Wolfpack all you want," but the truth is it happened right in front of everyone's eye. It's not possible. I mean, it is, but it's very, very difficult. You know, it's
Has to be a lot of movement, so and they need to be
true. Yeah.
really close.
Yeah.
Uh, it's kind of hard to like get closer to a person that is just moving forward. I mean backwards in a straight line. But yeah, let's move on to the question number 10. If you could change something in HRE, what would it be?
If I could change something in HRE, I
Yeah,
mean,
anything. Anything you would like.
anything. Oh man, honestly, there are many things that would be nice to change, but at the same time, it's kind of a difference of opinion, right?
Yeah,
If there's one thing I would change though, it's kind of the grind. I just somehow I need to make it less tedious, make the game more fun. You know? A lot of people when they grind this game, you know, they kind of do it because, oh, I have to do it. It feels like a chore, right? I mean, that's how it felt for me anyway when I was in the knighthood, hence why I retired. And when I was a captain of HRE, it just felt like a chore doing the same thing over and over again, hosting events. Just kind of felt tedious, right?
yeah.
So if there's one thing I'd do, it's just make events fun. Make it a fun experience instead of making it tedious for HRs.
Yeah, like HRs think it's a chore for them to do these events. They have the quota.
Exactly, yeah.
Uh,
They have a quota and all that.
yeah,
And I'm usually against forcing people to do things, but at the same time, if no events happen, the game kind of dies. So
exactly. But yeah, it makes the HRs do the same thing over and over, which makes it
yeah.
less
No, but here's the
special.
thing. I'm not saying don't make quotas happen. No, quite the opposite, right? I'm saying just make the events fun themselves. That's like an easy fix for it. Just be creative, be revolutionary. As Highcom, get together and make something fun. You know, it's a medieval genre, right?
Yeah,
Give them the true medieval experience. You know,
yeah. Like,
that's kind of what I think.
but
It
there
takes a
are
bit of creativity, and I can't think of anything right now as we speak. But if I were in their shoes, I'd try to get together with some people. I'd try to innovate. I'd try to think of something, you know,
yeah. Just
anything,
there's
literally.
not much we can do with the event types that we currently have. Yeah,
Hmm.
like combat training. What could you do to make the combat training more fun? Just fighting
Honestly,
over and over.
yeah, true. It is just fighting over and over. But I mean, to be honest, uh, combat trainings in these type of genres, combat trainings are actually the same, right? They just kind of get in SDS, fight a few things, get better. Maybe you learn a few tips and tricks. But I wouldn't say combat trainings themselves are bad, which is why most duchies host combat trainings. I'd
Cool.
say combat trainings are fine, right? But if you want a variety of events, you know, you could just like host more PRs to be honest. I mean, this game works based on PRs,
Yeah, that's true.
right? The whole enjoyment comes from testing your limits. And there's no point in like hosting CTs forever and teaching people because a lot of the people that play HRE are just not new players. They're recurring players. It also depends on the host. Chrisuk said a very good point in the chat,
Yeah,
actually. It also
true.
does depend on the host. It depends on the host. If the host is fun to hang around with, someone charismatic, someone who knows how to, I guess host an event, then yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, but most of HRs are just following the script.
But
Uh,
yeah, following the script exactly. Just nothing creative.
yeah,
That's why when I became knight in Lux, I never even opened the script. I just did it all off of my head. I was like, okay, what do these people need? Okay, these idiots, right? That I'm training here. I guess they need to work on hitboxes. So I just put them against each other and I tell them, okay, start stabbing each other. And
yeah,
yeah,
and that's the best thing HR could do. But most of people are just following the script and trying to
exactly.
finish their quota before the deadline.
Yeah, I remember Wolf Guardian had a very nice way of hosting events, and I kind of looked up to it a little. He hosted in a way where it actually did improve the player, and some people actually did improve because of him. which is rare. It's very rare to see.
Yeah, like most of the people are not getting better from the combat trainings because it's just the same thing, and knights most of the time are not even trying to explain some stuff. They're just following the script
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I find general trainings and some patrols kind of boring. Patrols, the only kind of thing I see out of it is just representing, right? Representation of the duchy. Are they active in main game? But the main game kind of lost its touch after a while because it's kind of like a shithole, to be honest, in terms of like combat.
yeah,
A weapon that two shots you a bandage is very pay to win.
it is indeed.
I'm very against the whole pay to win game passes. I'm very against them. I don't
No,
know who in their right mind. Yeah.
just Viking Love was the person that really wanted this Robux.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, another thing with the Game Pass is like the Earl Game Pass, the Viscount Game Pass, really. And it's more of a donation than an actual Game Pass, if I'm being honest. You get a tag
Yeah,
in game, and it's kind of just
it's
more of a
like
donation.
it's like a cosmetics, just some
Yeah,
items
basically.
that doesn't change much.
But the cosmetic even lost its touch. The only good cosmetic in the genre is ranks. Are
Yeah,
you commander? Are
true.
you duke? That's the only real flex. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
or the armor of some ranks. That's also
Yeah,
the ethics that matter currently.
yeah,
Because so much people have viscounts, for example, or earls that it's not special anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. So time for the 11th question. You have any
Only on 11? Damn.
yeah. If you have any advice for people that want to have a successful career in HRE, what would it be?
Just be liked by everyone, be charismatic. I mean, being liked is one thing, but also being competent is another thing. I feel like being competent is kind of it's okay, but you have to also be liked, to actually earn like to get the spot on the spotlight,
Uh,
Like I feel like it's kind of a mix of both, competency and just being liked and charismatic. Because charisma goes a long way, especially in HRE, you know. If
exactly.
you're liked by the Duke, for example, I mean, I'm not saying that bias is a good thing, of course not, right? You should definitely reward hardworking people, but it's kind of I guess, a cheat code for HRE. It's just
Yeah,
being liked, It's just a lot easier to choose someone who
you
you know
like.
is good, you
Yeah, yeah.
trust them. Yeah, yeah. Because being liked is also a trust factor. It's not really like, liking someone. But yeah,
Yeah, like dukes are also humans. If they just like someone, it's
exactly.
much more. There's more percent that he will choose the person he likes, than some other guy.
Exactly.
It's
I
just
mean,
how it is.
even yeah, exactly. I mean, they can both be competent, and moreover, people can like you because you're competent. You know,
Yeah,
so it's kind of yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a gray area, I'd say. It's kind of a little bit of a gray area. As long as it's not complete bias and completely unfair to the other people, then I say yeah. You know.
yeah, and it's also important to not have a lot of enemies in the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a given though. But it's kind of I don't really like making enemies in H3. I think it's useless. You don't why have enemies when you can have friends.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I think that
that's
at
that.
least everyone got at least one person from HRE that he still have contact with. Yeah.
Yeah,
HRE is just a game in which you can find some new friends, and the
yeah.
game just makes you contact with people, which makes you get more friends. So I think it's nice.
Mm, yeah.
So yeah, now question number 12. What is your current opinion on both HRE and KOF?
Honestly, H3 is well, it's better than ever. I'd say that. I mean, not better than ever, but it's better than it's been since I guess since Viking Laws Remember that FFA CW, the first one?
Yeah,
Since that, I'd say that was the prime. And then it's kind of just what do you call it? Hatchery's kind of just skyrocketed ever since Ken started looking into the game more and putting effort and time into it. It's been going good, right? As for KOF, I never liked the idea to begin with because
same.
KOF, like at the time when they made it, it was very dead, or like
Yeah,
Hatchery was
sure.
very dead. So there was no point in making another group to take from the already existing players and split them apart. That I feel
Exactly.
like that was part of the big reasons why Hatchery kind of fell off, was
Yeah,
making KOF. But
true.
it's
I
too
agree.
late now to get rid of it. It's too late. There's already a whole community there.
Exactly.
You you definitely don't want to get rid of them now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And as for like KOF itself, I mean, they're okay, I guess. They're the more chill version of HRE, and all the people that got banned, I guess, if they want a taste of HRE, they can go there. That's kind of how I feel about KOF.
Yeah, the KOF is just like a
Actually,
place for
yeah,
banned people.
another thing I remember, yeah, actually another thing I remember is when KOF was made, it was good. It was solid. Farrakhan and Dess's time, you know?
Yeah,
But the thing is, something that Farah told me is that it became a lot more. It was like HRE 2.0. And I think a lot of the reason people went to KOF is because they expected something different than HRE. They
exactly.
expected a new system. But
But
they didn't get that. They got the same thing and just different looks, right?
exactly, exactly.
So there was no point. Yeah.
And then just
So
KOF got inactive. But
yeah.
currently it's in a good state.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it's alright. It lives. Mhm.
Yeah, it leaves the best achievement of KOF. Staying alive.
Staying alive, yeah.
Yeah, but it was stupid that they added a KOF when HRE was literally dying.
Yeah. The state of the game was not good at all at the time.
Exactly.
I mean, like we were not getting any new players, and actually the CWs at the time was in a decline. We were not getting much players playing, and it was just kind of like I was kind of inactive at the time as well. I was just like, nah.
Yeah, because Caleb and the whole staff team was inactive. Because after they bought the
Yeah.
game, they just didn't care about it. But after like around the podcast with Caleb I did, then they started
hmm
actually working on the game. Really nice.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah. So let's move on to another question. How much times have you got banned and why?
That's a funny question. I got banned once. Okay, I remember. I actually got banned technically twice. One time, I was in actually all of my bans happened in Landskin. Actually, I feel like there was some racial motivation behind it. Like jokingly, I'm just kidding, but you know, it kind of feels that way, kind of. The first time I got banned was when Ali Doria became our overseer. He basically purged the entire HICOM for no good reason, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, I got reinstated because I knew deep down that I did nothing wrong, and well, neither did any of the others. And me and Totally we actually kind of brought Lance to a good level. We were doing good, you know. I don't know um, why they did what they did, you know, why Ali did what he did. But I talked to Lala. He was at the staff at the time, and then he kind of helped us both in VC, and we talked it over. I told Ali, dude, you know, we're doing okay. I don't know why you had to remove us, you know. There was no point. It was kind of unfair. You didn't give us a chance. You only just arrived 3 days, and you don't know how lands work. So yeah. And that was the first time I got banned. Was actually by Caleb at the time because I was a little bit angry at it, and I kind of told Sifat to stop saying brain dead things. I didn't call him brain dead. I just jokingly said stop saying brain dead things, right? And then Caleb took it personally for whatever reason and ended up community banning me.
Oh,
Of course, that got appealed. I apologized to CFED and all that, and then everything's cool, right? No problem. Second time I got banned was, well, after the Lance incident, the second Lance incident, where Skeptor made the smart idea of getting rid of Lance from the CW, which was mainly our source of the gameplay, our main source of gameplay, you know?
exactly.
It's like saying, hey, I'll remove Lux from the CW. How would that work? You know? Well, we're just gonna die. So,
Yeah,
of course, I left, totally left. Purge was leaving, Krisuk was leaving, all the Highcom were leaving, and everyone was leaving. And then they basically saw that, and they were like, "Oh, he's trying to kill Lance, murder him." You know.
Yeah.
Of course, some things were taken out of context. When I told Abasti, for example, Lance dies, Lance will die. I mean, yeah, it technically did die. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
after everyone left, but it doesn't mean I killed it.
Exactly, it's not your fault that people
And
left. It's not
and
like
I
you
mean,
were
I
telling
mean,
them to leave.
totally, yeah. I mean, I wasn't. Here's the thing: I wasn't really telling them to leave. I was just telling them like, I'm leaving. It's better you do as well because there's no point, right?
Yeah.
I'm
It,
still like honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? It was at that time there Lance had nothing, right? Lance had no sorts of gameplay at all. Like we basically flatlined, right?
yeah, it was just to
And
flex.
yeah, and here's the thing, right? I think me and Totally had this plan where we were going to essentially first of all we were changing from academy to tryout. We were bringing Lance back to square one, basically, you know, because the academy was shit. It wasn't gonna work, and even Purge, who wanted the academy at first, admitted that it was shit because there was no active instructors. There was no point in having an academy. Just switch to tryouts, right?
Like there was
So we did that swiftly.
a lot of
But
people.
yeah, yeah, we did
Oh,
that swiftly, and then yeah, I mean, they thought I killed Academy as well, and I was like, bro, I was switching to tryouts. And of course, the court case went very bad because things were taken out of context. And then eventually, 6 months later, I talked to Kent. I told him, hey, you know, things are not as they seem. I wrote a 20-page document with 40 images to show my quote unquote intentions. And honestly, Baek's reasoning for the whole court case was based on intention. He said it himself.
oh,
He does not know my intention. He did not know my intentions at all. You know, he just kind of saw the pictures. Oh, they're bad. And then I told him, I was like, okay, yeah, they look bad. That's fine. But what about the other evidence I have? Right? The
exactly.
other 40 images that actually prove our intention. The group chat itself, right? And then
You're
of course Caleb just kept it denying me for maybe like about 4 months, 6 months, no talking, just straight up denying. You know, no
yes, the
appeal.
Caleb.
Until I talked to Ken and CFAT, of course, and then things were cleared. So yeah, honestly, it's safe to say. I mean, it was kind of bullshit.
Did you
But that was the only
really
time I
made
ever.
a so big document about it?
Yes, I
Oh
did.
man.
I went. I like the thing is the document was mainly screenshot. It was like 20 to 30 pages, I think, or something like that. Of just screenshots. It was a big issue, right? It was a big issue. Even Skyrazer was confused, and the current Highcom at the time, Skyrazer and whoever, they were not clear on the reasons. Like it was a very gray area. Even
Yeah.
Bayek himself said it was the hardest case, but
Well, at least you got unbanned, and we can have you in the
yeah,
community again.
sure,
Well,
yeah,
since
that's great.
we
It's
were
always nice to
talking
be back.
about the card, uh, what is your opinion
Mhm.
about the card? Like, does it have a
Right now,
purpose? Because it's really inactive. Like, no
I feel
cases are
like
done here.
yeah, I mean most appeals are done through appeal servers, so why have a court, right?
Exactly.
It's not good to have a court if you're not gonna have like if it's only for small things. Because these small things never happen, right? Most reports go straight to Highcom. There's usually never a court case about it. A court case basically serves as kind of a honestly, I think it's not a good idea because at the time it just kind of felt like Bayek had the last say on the whole situation, and whatever he said, staff trusted. But then again, like it's kind of like a Highcom and staff shit like issue, you know? I mean, most of the cases, most of the big cases were. So most of the big cases were staff involved. So
Yeah, exactly.
therefore, staff should be the ones that directly involve themselves, not the court.
Yeah, and the card itself isn't uh, often better to
Yeah, it's
in
kind of I find it kind of useless now.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not really used.
yeah,
If people want to appeal something, then they could just do it to staff or Highcom.
exactly.
They just talk things out.
I wonder what's the
Another stupid
future of
thing, yeah.
the
So
card.
another stupid thing I saw is that most of the bans that Highcom and staff put are unappealable, and then they end up appealing it anyway. What's the
Yeah,
point of having an unappealable ban or blacklist? Like, just keep it as appealable, and then if you change your mind, then go ahead, right? If you forgive them, or if they're innocent, or if there's a misunderstanding, just keep it unappealable, right?
exactly.
It's like my case was unappealable, and then I just got kept denying for how long? 4 6 months being denied to enter the community again.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
actually funny how most of the people that had the unappealable ban are now still playing
no,
the
yeah,
game.
are now still playing exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, or for example, spy tricks or the penny. They all
yeah,
came back, even if they had the
exactly.
unappealable
I
ban.
mean, of course, yeah, of course they have a HR blacklist, which is sure to never change. I mean, I just keep them as like slaves, I guess, right? Keep them as LRs.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine. Benefits the community, doesn't really hurt anyone, so not.
exactly. Well, at least people with that did much more bad things haven't got killed. Like
Yeah.
people were grooming other people. But luckily, it never happened in HRE, or at least I
Yeah.
don't know about it.
Luckily, yeah. Yeah, well.
Yeah. Wait, on which
Um,
question are we? On this one. Okay, so time for the question number 14. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know if we should ask this question, but who is slash was your favorite Duke?
oh boy. Honestly, I think it's very hard. There were some very good dukes in my time. But I think Wrecking was one of the greatest. Like, he was commander of IG, became Duke of Bavaria, and he kind of maintained Aaron's legacy a little bit, right? He didn't completely die, and Bavaria was actually kind of winning CWs sometimes with Wrecking's era. I think he might have been my favorite, to be honest, and maybe part of it has been like because he was the first guy we ever met joining HRE. The first person I ever spoke to was Wrecking, you know.
Oh,
And I actually kind of miss the guy, you know. Where is he, you know?
wait, let
He's
me
dead
check.
now. He's no longer playing
Let me check
HRE.
if he's still in the HRE Discord.
Yeah, I miss the guy. He should return, you know.
It would be nice to see his raid on a new land spawn event. Crazy. I
Anyway,
think that they shouldn't host such a thing when we are doing a podcast. But okay. If people want to listen, then they will stay. So yeah, let's move on to another question. What's your opinion on
mhm.
your removal from rank of Crown Prince because
oh
of
boy.
Caleb's decision?
Honestly, I don't really care. I mean, to be honest, if Caleb wants to, I guess I actually I'm not too fully sure on the reason for it, but as long as it's a good reason, sure, you know. I just hope he doesn't make it about my blacklist. You know, that's really it. As long as it's not about my blacklist, which it probably is, you know, because the blacklist is kind of, you know, as you know, not really, you know, yeah, long story. But we all know how that ended. But honestly, I don't mind because I think it gave a wake up call to pandas and the rest. So maybe now they're gonna be more active. You know, if they're more
Maybe.
active, sure. But
But
the
yeah,
thing is, what Hatchery needs in Highcom is more revolutionary ideas. That's actually something I talked to Pandas about, right? Is these guys, they need to bring something revolutionary to the table. They're in a leadership position. They need to start guiding the game as a whole in a direction that will benefit it, right? It does not mean maintain, right? We need something more, something revolutionary, something like, because maintaining is what HRs do, right?
exactly.
HRs maintain the same quota over and over again. I mean, that's kind of how it works in HRE, right? Maintaining is just something that kind of that's like the bare minimum is maintaining, right? So me and Zeno as fresh faces, we could have done a lot more. We certainly could have um like, because we have a lot of ears in the community, and we're obviously like very well known. I know a lot of people from HRE, and so does he, right? So we could have easily, I guess, um, yeah, we could have just cooked, you know? And we
Exactly.
wanted our actions to speak. Yeah, we wanted our actions to speak for instead of our words. We didn't want to make promises. We just wanted to cook and see the results. And honestly, as for Caleb's decision, I completely understand. I mean, it kind of seemed rushed and all that, but at the same time, sometimes you gotta trust Kent, you know?
Exactly.
I
It
feel
could.
like the guy put in a lot of effort in this. I feel like, I mean, even if it was like maybe some of the decisions were rushed, but I mean, even Caleb kind of approved of it at the start, I believe, but I'm not too sure about that.
Uh,
Um,
could have been a really big change for HRE because yeah,
yeah.
currently the high ranks like Crown Prince, Archduke, etc. They were just inactive. Like for example,
If yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I wanted to tell Caleb is this, like, just let me cook like I cooked in Lux, bro. Just let me
exactly,
cook, you know? I mean, I didn't even mind sharing with pandas. Hell, I don't want them getting demoted. No, keep them. Just let me help them from the side, you know?
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I kind of am already doing it with the whole tournament organizer stuff, which I've kind of I think I brought the TO team to a big, you know, rise. And
Yeah,
you
I
know, of
agree
course,
with that.
and
I agree with that for sure. Like
yeah, I
there
mean, the
were
stream today had like 45, 50 people, which was
exactly.
crazy. I did not have that many people since, well, since the OG days, right?
Yeah,
Since the OG days, I did not have that many people. Like, it was kind of crazy.
exactly. And
So to see that, yes, yeah.
there were like many
So yeah,
times when CWs weren't even hosted because TOs were inactive.
yeah, right. I mean, it doesn't take much effort to go to CW. Just kind of do it, right? Just go, and I want to bring people, even the non-knights, because the knighthood right now, I don't see anyone that's capable of being TO. I actually don't see any picks at all, right? And I think I might bring someone like, well, someone like maybe, actually, I'm not gonna leak anything right now, but someone who has the time and effort to make highlights, make clips, editing. I want to kind of do the things I didn't do as TO before, or things that I didn't have time for, and I want to kind of make it self-sufficient where I don't have to be there all the time, right? But yeah,
Well, at least you made the TOs active. Uh,
I'm glad I did. Yeah.
and yeah, about stuff, it's just like you want something, they tell you DM pandas, and then you DM him, and you wait multiple days, and still no response. It's just how
Sometimes,
it is.
sometimes it's like a back and forth. DM pandas, okay, and then pandas tells you go DM this other person. Like,
And the other
like
person
why?
tells you to DM other person.
Yeah, it's like it's like a broken family, bro. Like what?
Yeah.
Like it's like one of those go to your mom. Okay, go to your dad. Like
Exactly.
like dude, you know this is not a broken family, okay?
Uh, hopefully the activity
Crazy.
of the highest ranks in HRE will change. Because it's really sad to see that even the staff team, which has the most work, is more active than them.
Yeah, I feel like the staff team should not do that much work though. I feel like it should be just Highcom innovating. I don't know why Ken should leave the innovating ideas to Highcom. That's how it should be, right?
Exactly.
I mean, Ken should just approve of things and actually oversee, but at the same time, Highcom should be the ones that are innovating. Ken so far is the only person who's actually kind of. I feel like he's the one who's cooking mainly. I don't really know if Highcom have cooked since the initial removal, but I hope they are cooking something, you know?
I since the removal, I just saw pandas talking in chat sometimes, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I will see.
the UGC codes are getting dropped. Saw that. And
Yeah.
there's like only 300 copies left. Hopefully, I'll be able
Yeah,
to
I,
get
I got
one.
some of them.
Uh,
Are the codes out?
yeah,
Oh yeah, okay.
for so
CFAT is
long.
dropping codes.
Yeah, there's the new UGC that doesn't look the same as the others that dropped like yesterday. This one is
Yeah.
like with It's the difference. Yeah, let's move on to another question then. What do you like the most in your job as a commander of Luxembourg?
Ooh, honestly, winning the CW.
Yeah, that's
Nah, I think that's the best part of my job. Like just winning, winning, constant winning. You know, just start a new streak, and I like just the thing is right. It's the same thing I had in Lands, where we just kind of became a destructive force of power, and we just kind of killed everyone. I think right now the challenge is Bohemia and Brabant mainly. Those are the two duchies that are right now kind of a threat, but at the same time, I know we can beat them. You know?
yeah. You can beat them for sure. Try hard enough.
Yes.
About trying and the dedication. And yeah, the win is just it's just nice to win. Feels good.
Yeah. Hmm. Everybody wants to be a winner.
Exactly. Nobody likes to lose.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question then. What gave you the most motivation to keep grinding your ranks and being active? And by the way, that question asked by a person named Lennon2699. Thanks for the question.
All right. Lennon. Okay. Well, I actually answered this before. I think I was talking about it. The one thing that motivates me the most is like in terms of ranks is this. I want to get authority to cook and basically be placed on the Hall of Fame, right? That's kind of what it is, right? That's what motivates me. I want to be on the Hall of Fame. And like I said, to be on the Hall of Fame, you have to do something good for the game, right? You have to do something revolutionary, something that basically gets the game to be good, or duchy, or whatever you're in, right? You're in a
Yeah,
duchy. The glory of the duchy goes hand in hand with yours. Your
exactly.
success depends on the glory of the duchy, or the success of the duchy, right? So the duchy is successful, kind of like Lux. Like right now, Lux is crazy good, right?
Yeah.
So
And if anyone asks why Luxembourg is currently in such a good shape, they will obviously say it's because of Turbo.
yeah.
You're the person that is aligned with the glory of
hmm
Luxembourg.
hmm I mean, Drengir also kind of. I mean, honestly, it's kind of also Drengir because without him, I probably wouldn't be commander, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
So like Drengir definitely he also plays a big part in some of my decisions that I make, right? I kind of ask him for some things and usually we come to a conclusion together. And honestly, it's kind of the chemistry that me and Drengir have that kind of helps a lot, right? Because it's very important to be on good terms with Duke and kind of be, carries like we have a good chemistry between the two of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you can like make proper decisions and all that. So yeah.
yeah, that's. Uh... So yeah, let's move on. Wow, by the way, our podcast has 1 hour already.
Wow, that's crazy. So it's already been an hour.
Yeah, but
I
don't.
mean, that's usually the like that's the usual time for podcasts, right? They
Yeah,
usually last an hour or two.
and
Yeah.
it's good if it takes long because it shows how much the guest has to say about himself.
Yeah, true, true.
But don't worry, guys, we're ending soon. There's just a few more questions left. And guys, don't
Yeah.
worry that there will be a giveaway soon that I know everyone is waiting for.
Yeah.
So yeah, another question: how to be better at commanding during battles? Have any tips?
Actually, yeah, a lot of people ask this question. Actually, HPY asked me the same question not too long ago. And I told him the answer I gave him, I'll tell to everyone, right? Just practice, do PRs, take initiative, have a good voice, just be charismatic and just keep practicing, right? You
Yeah,
have to keep practicing. You have to keep doing PRs. You have to up your game, up your strategy every time. Have an open mindset, right?
yeah,
Like
I
generally, like even commanding wise, like in CW, I did not do much. It was mainly Damos who came up with everything, you know. But of course, I gave my insight and he gave his, and it was okay, right?
and like PRs are the best way of practicing. command
Absolutely,
in the
yeah.
future,
PRs.
like in the W.
Yeah.
Uh, Just guys, basically practice. Practice is
Yeah.
everything that you need.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be good at something without practicing.
Yeah. Another thing that's also important actually is a lot of people are not able to take initiative because there's already a good enough commander, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are not able to take initiative because of that. And I think part of being a good high com and good commander is giving these people initiative regardless of the outcome. If you lose, you lose, right?
Yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of people like they command because they want to win and they just like win. But at the same time, I'm like, there's no room to grow, right? You need to give people room to grow so that in exchange they can also benefit. So I think this week actually I'm not gonna take over commanding at all, and I told Damus to kind of chill in terms of commanding PRs. Obviously we'll command CW because we want a streak, but PR wise, I'll let them all go ham, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Ah,
But yeah, it is
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, guys, so that's how you become a good commander.
Mhm.
Okay, now the question number 19. What was your best moment in the Duchy of Luxembourg? That question was asked by
When
a
we
person
our
named
best
GS.
moment. That's funny. Yeah. Okay, GS, right?
Yeah,
JS.
JS.
Best moment in the Duchy of Luxembourg. I'd say the turning point. When we won against Landsknecht on around equal numbers. We outnumbered them a little bit, maybe by 5 people or so. But we essentially we were 2-0, right? And then I was on the verge of saying, okay, we lost this PR, right? And then I basically had given up hope to the point where I was like, okay, guys, let's do a rice field strategy, right? And then we went in the rice fields, the grass next to the
Yeah,
villa.
yeah.
We went there, and we just kind of huddled up in the little hole, and we are like, okay, boys, into the rice field you go, Vietnam style. And then we charged out, started murdering them, won the first round, then won the next, then won the next. We made a 3-2 comeback. It was the biggest turning point ever, you know? And I think at the time Sunsailor was very pissed as a colonel. He actually made an announcement about it as well. It was kind of funny, but yeah.
Yeah, a really nice moment. And it was really. It was not important that you remembered it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the question number 20. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
already at question number 20. What do you think about the ball table stuff? Caleb, Stifat, Ken, etc. Question was asked by Darkrai Void 728.
Yeah. I feel like Ken and CFAT are doing a good job, to be honest. They're doing a nice job, right? And I have nothing against them. They're okay. Actually, I'd say they're good friends of mine, even, right?
Yeah, they
As
are
for
doing.
Caleb, I feel like Caleb and I feel like sometimes I feel like if Caleb had just talked to me, we'd come to a good conclusion. We'd break the ice, right? But of course, that kind of never happens. I actually told when I was banned during when I went to KOF while I was community banned, Caleb went all the way to KOF and made a new rule saying if you're community banned in HRE, you're community banned in KOF. Specifically because me and Totally came to KOF. You know?
Yeah.
That's what triggered it. And so I told Pandas, I was like, dude, just let me talk to Caleb, I'll break the ice. And then I asked Pandas to tell Caleb, to ask him personally if I can just have a chat. And then Pandas replied saying Caleb said no. And so I was like, okay. I was like, okay, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And then I asked the same thing to CFAT when I was trying to appeal. And then CFAT was like, Caleb said no.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. Yeah, I mean, if Caleb would just kind of maybe want to break the ice, I don't mind. Any day, any time, no problem, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a bit of I don't know. It just kind of feels like he's holding a grudge against me sometimes, and
Yeah, it's
we
possible.
never really properly spoke about it, so. But it is what it is. As for the staff, like in general, Caleb, he needs to. I feel like sometimes, when Ken does something or like I'm talking from experience here. When Ken, for example, made me crown prince and Caleb intervened, I feel like instead of kind of purging and reverting all the changes, he could have at least kept some changes, right?
Exactly.
Like if me and Pandas were okay with sharing, we could have shared. If staff were here, I mean Drengir and Alidori, I'm sure they could have helped Ken because Ken was the one doing most of the work, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like it's like a choice, right? You either have staff do everything or you either have Highcom do everything. You know, so I think having both and all these changes at once kind of overwhelmed Caleb, and that's why he kind of reverted the changes.
Yeah,
But
it might be maybe was.
yeah. And maybe Caleb could show a little, a little bit of like what do you call it? Um Appearances, he could appear more often. Would be nice.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
what Ken
that's
is
true.
doing. He can join VCs, talk to his community members. It would be nice to talk to his community members about things, anything. Instead of just thinking about us as like toxic or because I know from Liberty games they're not the same. The two community games are not the same. Liberty's more reserved, while HRE's more, I guess, um, chaotic,
Yeah,
right? So, but I feel like maybe, it would be nice if you can just come and talk to people sometimes.
exactly. I feel like in his eyes, he's so important for the whole game that he doesn't need to talk with the community. Like he feels
Yeah,
much
I
better
mean,
than them that he doesn't have to talk with them.
I
Because
don't know if that's the case, but I don't know. Nothing is as it seems. That's kind of, I guess, a lesson of life. Nothing is as it seems.
yeah, I remember when once he said he will try to be in game every day.
I mean, being in game and sitting AFK is kind of one thing, but just hop in VC. It's better to hop in VC than hop in game at this point. You know what I mean? Like in-game VC or any of the VCs for that matter.
Exactly. Like talking from time to time would be.
True. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm sure many people would have suggestions and stuff. So
exactly. Could just like do a Q&A or something
yeah.
from time to time. Like Viking Love
True.
did at
True.
the end of being Emperor. He did some of the
Mm-hmm.
Q&As. Like where people
Mm-hmm.
were gathering on stage and talk. Him. Nice. Sadly, Caleb. Like that. And yeah,
Yeah.
question number 21. Why did you left IG when you were a commander? Was asked by Mr.
That's a
Dev
good question.
Maniac.
Actually, regarding IG, I think it was mainly because I saw my life moving in a direction where I needed to stop playing Lego games so much. So I kind of just wanted to give the torch to someone else, someone like Certa Real Legend, because I wanted to give them a chance as well, more than anything. I wanted to see what would happen if I left. I wanted to see if IG would hold up. I wanted to see what they can do.
And
Him
it
and the future
didn't.
commanders. I mean, one could argue, they were, I guess, not as good, or IG died or whatever, but, you know, it's fine, really.
Just the third real legend didn't really wasn't dedicated to IG, I would say.
I feel like Legend was kind of chill in his skull, and then when he became commander, the kind of responsibility hit him hard,
Yeah,
and he was not really like he got boring, right? Because after all this time of waiting, right? You're waiting as commander, you have a good rank, and then when you become that rank, it's like, oh, that doesn't look, doesn't feel as chill as it was, you know?
yeah,
Like you think it's gonna be fun, and you think you'll enjoy it, and you think now you're a big boy, you have an authority and all that, but it's more of a responsibility than anything, you know?
yeah. It's kinda similar to a situation. There's a new game, you want to play it, you watched a lot of gameplays, you're so hyped for it, but when you buy it, it's not as fun as you thought it was. Something similar was with Legend. Like he wanted the rank, but
Yeah.
got it then
I
didn't
feel like
care about it.
like yeah, the authority and power is kind of like you have to be ready to pick it up. You have to be willing to take the burden. You know, power is not just given to anyone. You know,
Exactly.
if you're not ready to pick it up, it will basically demolish you and demolish your duchy. So there's that.
Yeah, it is how it is. But yeah, guys, that was the last question for the turbo. If you have any other questions, you can ask them in chat. I will ask Turbo
Yeah.
literally everything, except stupid
Yeah.
stuff like someone did in the Google Docs. I mean forms.
I think I saw it, by the way.
Yeah,
Pretty sure I
I
saw
sent
it.
it. I sent it.
I'll answer it regardless, bro.
Yeah.
Bring it on. All right, guys. Any questions you have, say it in chat now
Yeah, you
or
guys
forever
have
hold your
2 minutes
peace.
to ask any question you want, if you have.
I'm gonna look at the chat. Maybe I'll find some old questions.
Uh, I'll also announce in the media the announcements that we are doing the giveaway soon.
Do you think we'll win the giveaway? I mean, it's a giveaway. It's kind of random, right? I don't know. I have no idea who will win. I hope it's me.
Everyone can win. People asking, I think it's random.
Any other questions? Anyone?
Well, do you know the way?
Do you know the way? Yes, I know the way.
Okay, it seems like people doesn't. Oh yeah, what is your
Opinion
opinion
on
about
Mavra 123. A little bit acoustic, but good guy.
Yeah. So yeah, I think people
Yeah.
don't have any other creative questions, so we can start the giveaway. I'll just ping everyone from.
Why do you join? Okay, someone's asking why you choose to join Lux and not other duchy or division. I don't know. Lux is cool. Who would become
Giveaway.
commander if you were to lose power? Who would become commander if you were to lose power? I mean, probably someone like Krisuk. You know, someone who can fill in the big shoes, I guess, you know?
Okay, let's start the uh, giveaway. Let me just
Yeah,
open the
go ahead.
wheel. So, yeah. Go.
Bling Mavra 123.
Okay, guys, type your Roblox username in the chat. Participate in the uh, in the giveaway. Add people. Okay, let's see.
Alright, I'm gonna write my name as well, why not? Imagine the guest wins the giveaway. That'll be funny.
Yeah, that would be fun indeed. Oh, in that time, you can answer the question. What do you think about MIA?
MIE?
Yeah, MIA.
I feel like it's what Mingo said, right? Something that Mingo said. The idea is in the right place, but the practicality, like in practice, it's not the same, right? It's not good when it comes in practice. And he probably has all the reasoning for it, but that's just something he said, and I think I stand by it, you know?
A lot of people came to get the reward. 900 Robux is a lot indeed.
Suddenly, a lot more people came to the stream. Even Sinking is here. I wonder if they were listening in the background. They could have been.
Probably they are. They could.
I mean, the video, the playback will be public, right? So anyone can
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
it.
Everyone
Okay,
can
that's
watch it
perfect.
anytime they want.
Anytime they want, yeah. So yeah, there's my philosophy, guys. My philosophy on HRE and everything.
Also, type your name only once. No need to spam it, guys. It doesn't make your chance higher.
I think they're trying to confuse you and have you put two names instead, like two of their names.
Up and back. I won't add anyone double. I just added someone the second time.
Yeah, see, they're smart.
Yeah,
They're like rats.
army guy. Add the.
You have 36 people watching all of a sudden. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder from where they come from.
I wonder where they came from. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
suddenly chat is looking hella lively. I'm still gonna answer questions, by the way, if you guys want to still ask anything.
Yeah, if you
Anything you
have
want
any
answered.
other questions to uh, Turbo, you can just
They're
ask
adding
in the
alts.
chat.
Someone said, wait, they are adding alts. No way.
I hope they doesn't use all. Nice.
Yeah.
Old.
Anyway, Valor is now wiped, so I have to make an announcement.
Yeah, make the announcement. Sergio.
Yeah, Patrick as well. Didn't add him.
People just enter the live stream to win a Robux.
Yeah, so many people. Everyone wants the Robux.
Exactly.
Someone put my name down.
Because you typed your username. That. Brava Terminator, oh man.
Brahma Doggy Terminator. It's funny. I'm honestly like Brabant shat on Bohemia today, right? So it's kind of funny.
Okay, I think I added everyone. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
spin the wheel. Let's see who's going to win.
Islander, bro. Yeah. Dude, Bohemia threw so hard. Bohemia, like, I'm gonna be honest. All the slander against Brabant and then you lose. Like, how? I expected to fight Bohemia in the
Wow,
finals.
Demon Chick YouTube has won. Okay, let me check if I can pin. Yes. Okay.
Rabbit Dog Terminator didn't live up to his name. Yeah, didn't live up to his name.
Right. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this podcast. It was nice to have you all there watching us, and
Yeah.
thank
By the
you,
way,
Turbo, for
Mhm.
making it possible to the podcast with you. Really great.
Yes, it's funny. I tried to organize it so many times, but ADG kept forgetting.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next